The silver ships came down from the sky like falling stars, but they didn't crash. They floated above the cities of Earth, silent and waiting. In Seoul, Commander Hyunwoo stood at his window watching the strange vessels hover over the Han River. His radio crackled with reports from around the world. The same ships were everywhere. "Sir, we're getting a message," said Lieutenant Mina from her station. Her voice was calm, but her hands shook as she worked the controls. The big screen in the command room lit up. Strange creatures appeared on it. They looked like walking diamonds, their bodies made of clear crystal that caught the light. When they spoke, the computer translated their words into Korean, then English, then every language on Earth. "Greetings, hunters of the Third World," the crystal being said. "We are the Vorthok. We have traveled far to find you. You are apex predators like us. Collect apex predators from every world. It is time for the great hunt to begin." Wah! Felt his blood turn cold. At around the world. Other military leaders heard the same message. In Busan, Captain Dong Haeon listened with growing anger. In the mountains, Sergeant Ji-hoon gripped his rifle tighter. "You will be honored," the alien continued. "Your species will join our great collection. We have hunted the greatest predators from 1,000 worlds. The crystal cats of Venth Prime, the steel wolves of Corvana, the shadow bears of the dead zones. All are gone now, but they live forever in our memory as worthy prey." The transmission ended. For a moment, every human leader stood in shocked silence. Then Hyunwoo reached for his radio. "All units, all stations, this is Seoul Command," he said, his voice carrying across every military frequency on Earth. "We have a situation. Hostile aliens have declared their intention to hunt humanity. They think we're just another species to add to their collection." He paused, looking out at the crystal ships floating over his city. "They're wrong. We don't run from hunters. We don't hide in caves. We are humans and we fight back." Versed. Alien hunting parties came down the next morning. They expected to find scattered groups of panicked animals running for their lives. That's how it had always worked before on other worlds. Instead, they found Sergeant Ji-hoon and his soldiers waiting in the mountains with prepared positions and coordinated fire plans. The aliens had technology that could track individual predators, weapons that could bring down the biggest creatures. They had never faced a predator that used radios to coordinate attacks. The first hunting party died in a crossfire that came from 3 different directions at once. In the cities, the aliens expected to corner humans in buildings and streets. Captain Dong Han had other plans. His soldiers moved through subway tunnels and underground passages, appearing behind the aliens when they least expected it. Every human seemed to know where every other human was going to be. Dr. Soyoung worked in her laboratory, studying pieces of alien equipment that the soldiers brought her. The aliens used energy weapons that could adjust to fight different types of creatures, but they all seemed designed for one-on-one combat. "They don't understand us," she told Han-woo over the radio. "Their weapons, their tactics, everything they do is meant for hunting individual animals. They've never fought a social species before." The aliens were confused. On every world they had visited, apex predators were solitary hunters. They might work in small groups, but never like this. Humans seemed to move like a single giant organism, but each part could think and act on its own. Lieutenant Yoon-ji reported from the Amazon rainforest. "Sir, something strange is happening here. The local animals, jaguars, eagles, even the snakes, they're not running from the aliens. They're following our lead." Similar reports came from around the world. In Africa, lions stalked alien scouts alongside human rangers. In Canada, wolves ran with human soldiers through the forests. In Australia, dingoes helped track alien movements. The aliens had expected to hunt the apex predator of Earth. They found instead that Earth's apex predator was the planet itself. Working as one, Captain Hai-jin monitored alien communications from her hidden station. The messages she intercepted grew more desperate each day. "Request reinforcements," one alien commander signaled to his fleet. "The prey species exhibits unknown behaviors. They do not flee. They do not scatter. They coordinate attacks across impossible distances. Individual units report prey species teaching other predators to hunt us," came another message. This is not standard apex predator behavior. By the end of the first month, the aliens had lost more hunting parties than in their previous 10 campaigns combined. Humans had taken their weapons, learned their weaknesses, and turned Earth itself into a trap. Hyun-woo stood at his window again, watching alien ships burning in the distance. His radio carried reports of victories from every continent. The hunters had come to Earth expecting to bag another trophy species. Instead, they had awakened something they had never encountered before, a planet full of apex predators that refused to be prey, and who were teaching every other predator on Earth to fight back alongside them. The great hunt had begun, but not the way the aliens had planned. 3 months had passed since the aliens first arrived. Dr. So-young worked deep underground in her hidden laboratory. Pieces of broken alien technology scattered across her tables. Above her, the war continued, but down here, she was making discoveries that would change everything. "I've got it," she whispered into her radio, her voice filled with excitement. "Commander Park, are you there?" Hyun-woo's voice crackled back through the static. "I'm here, Doctor. What have you found?" "Their weapons are smart, but they're stupid smart," So-young explained, holding up a crystal device. "They can adapt to fight any single creature, but they can't handle multiple targets working together. When we attack in groups, their systems get confused." She paused, studying the readings on her screen. "It's like they've never encountered teamwork before. Their technology assumes every fight is one hunter against one prey." Across the world, this discovery was changing how humans fought. In the forests of Canada, Colonel Taemin led his soldiers in a new kind of battle, but they weren't alone. A pack of gray wolves ran beside them, and somehow, the wolves seemed to understand the plan. "This is impossible," Taemin radioed to his commanders. "The wolves are learning our hand signals. They know when we're going to attack before we do it." Lieutenant Yoonji had an even stranger report from the Amazon. "Sir, I'm watching a jaguar teach a human soldier how to move silently through the jungle. The animal is actually showing him where to step." These reports came from everywhere. In the African savanna, lions coordinated their attacks with human soldiers. In the Arctic, polar bears seemed to understand radio communications. In the oceans, great white sharks followed human submarine movements. The aliens intercepted some of these reports. Their confusion grew deeper. "The apex predator species is exhibiting impossible behavior," one alien commander reported to his fleet. "They appear to be communicating with other predator species on their planet." "Confirm previous report," came the reply. "Are you saying they're forming alliances with other apex predators?" "Negative. It's worse than that. The other species are following human tactical patterns. The humans are teaching them to hunt us." Captain Haijin listened to these alien transmissions from her monitoring station. Each message revealed more about their enemy's growing fear. "They're panicking," she reported to Hyun-woo. "I'm hearing words in their language that the computer translates as impossible and unnatural over and over again." The aliens had spent thousands of years hunting apex predators across the galaxy. Every species they had encountered followed the same pattern. They were solitary hunters or worked in small family groups. Even the most dangerous predators could be isolated and defeated one by one. Humans broke every rule they knew about apex predators. Sergeant Ji-hoon discovered this firsthand during a mountain battle. His unit was surrounded by alien hunters, but instead of panicking, he did something the aliens couldn't understand. He started making bird calls. Within minutes, every predator bird in the area, hawks, eagles, even ravens, began diving at the aliens. The crystal beings' weapons could track and target individual threats, but they couldn't handle dozens of different creatures attacking from every direction at once. The prey species is weaponizing the entire ecosystem, one dying alien transmitted to his fleet. Repeat, they are turning their planet into a weapon. Dr. Young-soo made another breakthrough while studying captured aliens. "Commander, I've learned something terrible," he reported to Hyun-woo. "These creatures have been doing this for thousands of years. They've destroyed entire species across the galaxy." He showed Hyun-woo the star charts they had found. Each mark represented a world where apex predators had been hunted to extinction. The crystal cats of Venth Prime, the steel wolves of Corvana, the shadow bears, they're all gone. These aliens have been collecting apex predators like trophies. This knowledge spread through the human resistance like wildfire. The war was no longer just about Earth's survival, it had become something bigger. Major Sung Ho organized a global broadcast that reached every human fighter on the planet. Listen to me, all of you. We're not just fighting for ourselves. We're fighting for every species these monsters have destroyed. We're the first apex predators to fight back successfully. The psychological impact was immediate. Human soldiers fought with new determination, knowing they were avenging countless extinct species across the galaxy. But the biggest surprise came from space itself. Itenho, monitoring deep space communications, picked up a faint signal. That made his heart race. "Commander Park, you need to hear this," he said, patching the signal through to Sol Command. The transmission was weak, filled with static, but the computer's translation was clear. Are the hunters truly dying? Is someone finally fighting back? More signals followed from different parts of the galaxy. Species that had been hiding for centuries were listening to Earth's battle against the alien hunters. "We are here," came another transmission. "We have been waiting for someone to fight." Haiyan-Wu realized that Earth's war against the alien hunters was being heard across the galaxy. Somewhere out there, other species were watching, hoping, maybe even preparing to join the fight. The aliens had come to Earth, expecting to hunt another apex predator species into extinction. Instead, they had started a galactic revolution, and it was only the beginning. 6 months had passed since the alien ships first appeared over Earth. The war had changed completely. Major Sung Ho crouched in the ruins of what used to be Tokyo, watching alien patrol ships through his binoculars. But he wasn't hiding anymore. He was hunting. "All units. This is Strike Leader," he whispered into his radio. "Target confirmed. 3 alien supply ships at coordinates 77 Alpha. Execute Operation Payback in 3.2.1. Across 12 different time zones, human strike teams hit alien supply lines at exactly the same moment. The coordination was perfect. In London, Captain Minsu's team destroyed an alien fuel depot. In New York, Lieutenant Harem's soldiers captured an alien communication station. In Sydney, Sergeant Wujin's unit ambushed a hunting party. The aliens couldn't understand how humans could coordinate attacks across such vast distances with such perfect timing. Their own hunting parties worked alone or in small groups. They had never faced an enemy that could think as one planet-wide. Mind, while every individual unit could adapt and change tactics instantly. Impossible coordination patterns detected. An alien commander transmitted to his fleet. Human units are operating independently, but with unified purpose. How do they maintain such organization? The answer would have horrified them even more if they had known it. Humans weren't just coordinating with each other. They were coordinating with every predator species on Earth, in the Amazon. Lieutenant Yunji led a hunting party that included not just human soldiers, but jaguars, eagles, and even poisonous snakes. The animals had learned to respond to human radio calls. When Yunji whispered attack into her radio, every predator in the area knew what to do. "This is Jungle Team to command," she reported after wiping out another alien scouting party. "The enemy weapons still can't handle multiple species attacking together. Their targeting systems fail when they try to track a human, 2 jaguars, and a harpy eagle, all at the same time." Dr. Young-Soo had been studying the alien technology for months. His latest discovery changed everything about how humans understood their enemy. "Commander Park," he called excitedly from his laboratory, "I found their database. You need to see this." The holographic display showed star chart after star chart. Each one marked a world where the aliens had conducted their great hunts. Hundreds of planets, thousands of species, all extinct. "Look at this," Yansu said, pointing to detailed records. "The crystal cats of Nth Prime. They could phase through solid matter. But the aliens hunted them for 3 years until none were left. The steel wolves of Corvana, they could tear through metal with their claws, but they went extinct 2 centuries ago." Haiyan-Wu studied the records with growing anger. "How many species have they destroyed?" "Over 10,000 confirmed extinctions," Yang-Su replied quietly. and they keep detailed records of each hunt. They see it as art, Commander. They're not just killing for survival or territory, they're killing because they enjoy it. Information spread through the human resistance network within hours. The war had become personal. Humans weren't just fighting for Earth anymore. They were fighting for justice for every extinct species across the galaxy. Captain Inho led the first successful raid on an alien command ship. His team used a tactic that no alien species had ever tried. They pretended to be defeated. Mayday. Mayday, Inho. Broadcast on open channels. This is Human Unit 7. We are surrounded and out of ammunition, requesting immediate pickup. The alien ship moved in close to capture what they thought were helpless humans. Instead, they found Inho's team had been hiding in the wreckage of their own vehicles, waiting for the perfect moment to strike. Now, Inho shouted. His soldiers emerged from hiding and stormed the alien ship. The crystal beings inside had never experienced being boarded by their prey. Their entire military doctrine was built around hunting, not defending against coordinated attacks. Within minutes, Inho's team had captured one of the most advanced alien vessels, but more importantly, they had captured the ship's databanks. Command, this is incredible. Inho transmitted from the alien bridge. They have detailed maps of every species they've ever hunted. But there's something else. There are signals. Here are transmissions from species that are still alive, still hiding. Captain Hyjin worked frantically to decode the intercepted communications. What she found made her heart race. Commander, we're not alone out there, she reported to Hyun-woo. There are survivors. Species that escaped the great hunts and have been hiding across the galaxy. The transmissions were faint, encrypted, and scattered across dozens of star systems. But the message was clear. Other species had been watching Earth's fight against the alien hunters, and they were amazed. The apex predators of the Third World fight back, one decoded message read. For the first time in our memory, the hunters are being hunted. We have watched for centuries. Came another signal, waiting for someone to resist. The crystal killers bleed. They can die. Who knew made a decision that would change the course of the war? Instead of just defending Earth, humans began broadcasting everything they had learned about the aliens' weaknesses. To any species receiving this transmission, he announced on all frequencies, "We are the humans of Earth. The alien hunters are not invincible. They can be defeated. Here are their weaknesses." For the first time in galactic history, prey species were sharing information about how to hunt the hunters. The psychological impact on the aliens was devastating. The prey species is teaching resistance methods to unknown parties, panicked alien transmissions revealed. Repeat, they are spreading tactical information across the galaxy. The hunters had become the hunted, and they were terrified. First response came from the edge of the solar system. Lieutenant Colonel Sujin was monitoring deep space communications when her equipment picked up a signal that made her hands shake with excitement. "This is the vessel Hope's End," the translated message said. "We are Keth Mori. We have been hiding in the asteroid belt of Kepler 442 for 1,000 Earth years." "Are the crystal hunters truly dying?" Sujin's heart pounded as she responded. "This is Earth Command. Yes, we are fighting them. We are winning." The silence lasted for several minutes. Then we thought we were the last. We thought no one would ever fight back. Within days, more signals arrived from across the galaxy. Each one told the same story. Species that had survived the great hunts by running and hiding, living in constant fear for centuries. The Yiltar had disguised their entire planet as a dead world, covering their cities with fake asteroid impacts and radiation to make the hunters think nothing lived there. The Nethquin had abandoned their homeworld completely, living in generation ships that never stayed in one place long enough to be found. Dr. Haywin studied each new contact carefully. "Commander Park," she reported to Hyun-woo, "these species aren't just survivors, they're incredible. The Yiltar have technology that can hide entire planets. The Nethquin have ships that can travel faster than anything we've ever seen. But they've been too afraid to use any of it," Hyun-woo realized. They've been focused on hiding instead of fighting. Exactly. But they've also been watching the hunters for centuries. They know everything about alien tactics, their technology, their weaknesses. They just never had anyone to share that information with. The first physical contact came 3 weeks later. A small Kathmori ship materialized near Earth's moon. Using technology that made it invisible until it chose to be seen, Captain Donghan led the diplomatic team that met with the alien refugees. The Kathmori looked like tall, thin humans covered in silver fur, with large eyes that had seen too much fear. "We cannot believe you fight them openly," the Kathmori captain said through translation devices. "For us, fighting meant death. We learned to hide, to run, to disappear. For us, hiding means death," Donghan replied. "We learned to fight, to adapt, to never give up." The cultural exchange that followed changed both species. Humans taught the Kathmori that survival wasn't just about avoiding death, it was about choosing to live. The Kathmori taught humans about the hunter's history, their psychology, their deepest fears. "The crystal beings see themselves as perfect predators," the Kathmori explained. "They believe they are meant to hunt all other life. But they have never failed before. They do not know how to handle defeat." More refugee species arrived. The Yultar brought camouflage technology that could hide entire fleets. The Neth Queen shared engine designs that could outrun any hunter ship. A species called the Threndok provided weapons that could cut through alien crystal armor, but the most important thing they brought was hope. General Kyong-Su coordinated the new alliance from a command center that now included representatives from 12 different species. The planning sessions were unlike anything in galactic history. "The hunters always attack the same way," explained a Yultar tactical expert. "They identify the strongest predator on a world, then hunt it to extinction. They have never faced multiple species working together. Their sacred hunting grounds are in the Vorthon system," added a Neth Queen navigator. "They keep trophies there from every species they have destroyed. It is heavily defended, but ... But they defend against individual attackers." Kyung-Su finished. "Not coordinated fleets from multiple species." The plan that emerged was ambitious beyond anything previously attempted. Instead of just defending their individual worlds, the allied species would take the fight directly to the hunters' most sacred places. Sergeant Ethun found himself training alongside alien soldiers who had been hiding for centuries. The Kathmori learned human tactical flexibility. The Yultar discovered that their camouflage technology worked even better when combined with human unpredictability. "It's incredible," Ji-hoon reported to his commanders. "These species have abilities we never dreamed of, but they've been so focused on hiding that they forgot how to fight. We're teaching them to be dangerous again." The psychological impact on the hunter species was immediate and devastating. Their intercepted communications revealed growing panic. "Multiple unknown species detected in Sector 7, one alien commander. Reported, repeat, the prey species has formed alliances across species barriers. This is unprecedented." "Confirm previous report," came the panicked reply. "Are you saying extinct species are returning?" "Negative. Worse. Hidden species are emerging. They're no longer hiding. They are hunting us." Captain Hajin monitored these communications with satisfaction. "They're terrified," she reported. "For the first time in their species' history, they're experiencing what their victims felt, the fear of being hunted." The alliance grew stronger each day. Human tactical knowledge combined with alien technology and centuries of hidden intelligence about the hunters. The refugee species were no longer refugees, they were an army, and they were no longer running. Under human leadership, they were preparing to end the great hunts forever. The hunters had created their own worst nightmare, a galaxy full of apex predators working together, led by the one species that refused to accept defeat. The final battle began in the Vorthon system, the most sacred place in the galaxy for the alien hunters. Here, floating in the darkness between dead planets, stood their greatest monument, a massive crystal structure filled with the preserved remains of every apex predator they had ever killed. Admiral Jae Young stood on the bridge of the human flagship, surrounded by holographic displays showing allied fleets from 17 different star systems. Kethmori's ships shimmered in and out of visibility. Yultar vessels looked like floating asteroids until they revealed their true forms. Nethqueen craft moved faster than anything should be able to move. "All fleets report ready," Captain Mina announced from her station. 37 species, over 2,000 ships. "The hunters are responding," reported Lieutenant Tehine from communications. "Their entire fleet is moving to defend the trophy structure." Through the main view screen, Jaeyoung could see the alien monument clearly now. Inside the crystal walls, he could make out the shapes of creatures from across the galaxy. All the apex predators, the hunters, had killed over thousands of years. "Today we end this," he announced to all allied fleets. For every extinct species, for every world that lost its apex predators, today, the great hunts end forever. The hunter fleet that emerged to meet them was larger than anything they had faced before. Massive crystal ships that looked like floating cathedrals, each one designed to honor their twisted idea of the perfect hunt. But the hunters made their first mistake immediately. They arranged their ships in hunting formation, spread out, each vessel acting independently. Designed to track and corner individual prey, the Allied fleet did something the hunters had never seen before. They moved as one unified force, but each species contributed its unique abilities. Kethmori's ships provided camouflage for the entire fleet. Keeltar vessels created false targets that confused hunter sensors.
Echoing craft
Struck with impossible speed and disappeared before the hunters could respond. And the humans. The humans did what they had always done best. They coordinated everything, making sure every species worked together perfectly. "Hunter formation is breaking," reported Tehan. "They don't know how to fight a coordinated fleet." The real shock came when the hunters sent their traditional challenge, a demand for single combat between the greatest hunters of each species. "This is Admiral Jaeyoung of the human fleet," he responded. "We decline your challenge." "We don't fight as individuals. We fight as a team." The concept was so alien to the hunters that several of their ships actually stopped firing, as if their crews couldn't process what they had just heard. Commander Hyan Wu led the assault on the trophy monument itself. His boarding party included humans, Kethmori Yultar, members of 6 other species, all working together with a precision that amazed even themselves. "The structure is defended by automated systems," reported Dr. So-young, who had joined the boarding party. "But they're designed to stop individual intruders, not coordinated teams." As they fought through the monument's defenses, Hyan Wu saw the true horror of what the hunters had done. Thousands of species, each one the apex predator of its world, all killed for sport and displayed like trophies. "This ends now," he said. Planting explosive charges at the structure's base, the hunter fleet made one final desperate attempt to stop them. Their largest ship, commanded by the supreme leader of the Vorthok, moved to ram the human flagship. "All ships, concentrate fire on the command vessel," Jaeyoung ordered. What followed was not a battle, but a demonstration. 37 different species, each one a survivor of the great hunts, each one representing countless extinct relatives, unleashed everything they had at the hunter's symbol of power. The crystal ship shattered like glass in the silence that followed. A transmission came from the remaining hunter ships. The voice was different now, not the arrogant tone of a supreme predator, but the confused plea of a creature that had never known defeat. "We... we submit," the transmission said. "You are the new apex. We acknowledge your dominance." Response surprised everyone, including his own crew. "We're not here to dominate you," he said. "We're here to stop you from dominating others. The age of the great hunts is over. If you want to survive, you'll have to learn to live without killing entire species for sport." The monument exploded in a brilliant flash of light. Thousands of years of trophies, thousands of extinct species, finally found their peace in that moment. The surviving hunter ships hung motionless in space, their crews struggling to understand a concept they had never encountered: mercy from a superior. Captain Mina, now serving as Earth's first representative to the Galactic Council, established humanity's final terms. Every species has the right to exist. Every world has the right to its apex predators. The great hunts are finished. Some hunter ships chose to flee into the dark spaces between stars. Others chose to stay and learn what it meant to be protectors. Instead of destroyers, the galaxy had learned that the ultimate apex predator wasn't the one who could kill everything else. It was the one who could bring different species together and help them all survive. The age of the great hunts was over. The age of cooperation had begun, and it started with humans who refused to be prey.